Johnny Dean, Dinah Smith.
Love the show. First time caller. Probably be calling again in the near future.
This is Boomer's Brain Trust. Call 877-PLANNER now.
Oh, welcome back. It's the Boomer's Brain Trust. I'm Johnny Dean and Dinah Smith. It's been a great hour so far. More to come, by the way. We'll get some more of the top five at the top. We've got news. We've got Professor Plum returning. If you have another question, by the way, for Professor Plum, next hour we will be taking more calls from him. Emails, phone calls, whatever. I've got some questions for him, too, so that'll be next hour. If you want to get your call in now, fine, or you can wait a few minutes, whatever you'd like to do. Our number, 877-PLANNER, P-L-A-N-N-E-R. I'm here with my co-host, my cohort, my colleague, Dinah Smith. Now, Dinah, we've all seen the emails, all right? How many of these have you gotten? You get a bank notice, right?
Oh, yeah.
And generally, they've got exclamation points all over them. They're usually written in all capitals. Mm-hmm. They say, your account's been locked. Click here. Regain access to your money. Or the other one that I'm fond of, the one that says, help, I'm a prince in a foreign country. I got $1 billion, and you help me get to America. I'll give you a cut. You've seen that, right?
Or even a friend. You know, a friend's name comes up.
Man.
That's the one that really is worrisome because you're thinking, oh my gosh, I didn't even know Mandy was in Argentina.
It seems so real, and yet they're not in most cases. So here to tell us all about those scams is Steve Olsher. He's America's reinvention expert, and he's author of Internet Profits. That's P-R-O-P-H-E-T-S. Steve, I like the title of that book, by the way. Welcome to the show, and thanks for joining us here with the Boomer's Brain Trust.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on this morning.
All right, so they've come a long way, scams, all right? Yeah, when we first got the Internet, we remember hearing, they were mostly chain letters at the time, and pretty much if you believed them, fine. You know, if you posted it and you sent a whole bunch of stuff out, that's fine. But they've gotten a whole lot more sophisticated now, have they not?
Well, I'm going to tell you, they've gotten significantly more sophisticated. Reality at this point is it's almost impossible to tell some of the legit folks that are out there from those that are just pure scammers.
So what are some of the top? Let's go, if we can, the top 5 internet scams that are happening, that are out there right now. What should people be looking out for right now?
Well, you already touched on a couple of them there. So you're definitely familiar with the one where someone's been, well, trapped or stuck or taken advantage of in a foreign country, right? And they write to you and they say, hey, I'm stuck here in the Philippines and I have no access to anything but my email, and I need you to wire me some funds to help get me out of here. So, that one is still very much alive and well. We call that one the travel scam, and you guys were talking about that just a couple of seconds ago.
Yeah, so that's the travel scam. So what are some others? I mean, obviously I'm familiar with some of these. I usually just junk them. What other scams are people looking out for? Because really, these things do look real. They do.
And so the second one on the list here, number 4, as we go down the top 5, is what we call the phishing scam, which is P-H-I-S-H-I-N-G, which is, again, pretty much what you talked about with the banks and companies that require personal details. And so they'll write you an email saying, hey, we need to verify your username, verify your password, and before you know it, your account is completely drained there. And so some of those sites are pretty darn legit. I mean, in terms of the way they look, they'll grab the logo, they'll grab the look and feel, and it's pretty scary how sophisticated they're getting out there. But yeah, the phishing scam is still on the top 5 of the list, or number 4.
Yeah, now of course we've seen those where they actually sometimes use real-looking bank websites where they attach JPEGs or whatever it is to the email, make it look official like that, and they sign it like the Bank of America team. I mean, there should be some clues. All right, so just quickly, we have what's number 3 on the list here?
The number 3 is the mirror scam, which is literally where you see a site that looks exactly like the site that you might normally go to, and you're starting to see a lot of sophistication around this, where literally you'll think you're on a site, perhaps even an Amazon.com or something similar, when in fact you're on a mirror site, and when you place that order, you will in fact be able to put something in your cart. It will look like the order is being processed, but all you're doing is using your credit card information to fatten the bank account of these scammers. No goods will ever show up. It never was on Amazon.com or anything of similar nature. And unfortunately, you lose out every time.
Number 2. What would be number 2?
So number 2 on the list is the charity scam, and this one kills me when you start seeing folks who are, really desperate to help others. When you get a hurricane or you got an earthquake or whatever it might be, something horrible where folks write into you and they say, hey, you got to help these people. They'll use an American Red Cross logo or whatever it might be, and they'll ask for donations. And too often people are falling for those hook, line, and sinker.
And the number 1, as like the countdown, the number 1 scam.
Right, and the number 1 is the credit scam, which is you've been pre-approved for X line of credit, pre-approved for X mortgage, pre-approved for X credit card. Just pay the processing fee.
That's
Wow.
it.
Hey, Steve, is there anything you can do to kind of make sure, like, if you do click on something, suddenly you are aware that you've been scammed? Are there any telltale signs that might alert you?
The biggest telltale sign of all is make sure you're on a secure site, and you can tell if you're on a secure site by looking at the navigation bar. So whereas the HTTP would be an unsecure site, HTTPS, like Sam, would be a secure site.
Got it. That's good advice.
All right, so let's just to wrap this up. We only got a minute or so. Who is being targeted generally? Is it still mostly older people who are new to internet or email or anything like that?
Well, reality is that you've got, literally over 1 million people coming online every day now. So it's not just the old, it's the newbies. It's even some folks that, frankly should know better and are still falling for the stuff.
Talking with Steve Olsher about internet fraud very quickly. So if you've been scammed and something's happened, is there anything you can do at that point, or is it just going to be a giant mess talking to your banks and trying to clear this stuff up for the next 2 years?
Yeah, reality is you're pretty much hosed. Even if you use a credit card, it's really tough for the bank to go after anybody. So there's nobody regulating this stuff. That's the big problem. When it's $100 a pop, it's just not big enough for anybody to really care.
Steve, so okay, if you got a couple of books out right now, is that right? You've got I know the one about Internet Profits. What else have you got out there to just to get the information out there?
Yep, Internet Profits, which is PROPATTS, the world's leading experts reveal how to profit online. Folks can grab a free copy of that book at internetprofits.com/free. And then my new book is called What Is Your What? Discover the one amazing thing you were born to do. And you can grab a free copy of that at whatisyourwhat.com.
Steve, thank you very much. We appreciate you taking some time to be with us on the Boomers Brain Trust.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on.
All right. Thank you. I sit here and I listen to this, and I remember one of the very first times I got on the Internet, and I fell for one of those. It was an unsophisticated scam, but it was one of those, Dinah, that said, if you've passed this email on to 20 people, Microsoft is using a beta test or whatever they happen to call it. I'll tell you what, I said, great, you mean I get $20? Yeah, right. They had a way to track this, like 1995. All right, so I was stupid. I like to think I'm smarter than that. Hang on for more. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Professor Plum, we'll hear again from Dinah Smith next hour. Bottom of the hour, we've also got Professor Plum again taking your calls. 877-PLANNER is our number, PLANNER, for Dinah Smith and all the rest of the Brain Trust. I'm Johnny Dean. Take care.